guys, okay, let's understand about big data. What is big data? Big data is actually, it really in all its parlance, it means that the huge amount of data that is collected, generated and used all over the world. Now, very interesting fact that 90% of all data is generated in last 1 year, and this average holds true for every year. So every year you'll find that we are generating that quickly, we are generating data. Now, what is the use of big data? Do you know that lot of these general stores, they are able to predict a lot of things using this big data, using something known as buying behavior. If a woman is expecting a baby, they are able to predict this way faster, way quicker compared to their own near and dear ones, using the big data of buying behavior, right? Insurance companies use this big data to understand the level of accidents that happen every year. So yeah, that is again a very important thing, because then they will increase the price of the insurance premium, where the data is being, where data shows that there are the chance of accident is way more, so they will increase the insurance premium in these cases, right? So again, amazing thing, right? At the same time, if you look at sometimes credit card data, companies are able to understand the next acquisition that is taking place using the credit card data of CEOs and CFOs. If there have been too many trips on the official credit card, so banks are able to understand that maybe this company is going to acquire some other company. So I mean, brilliant, right? Brilliant, amazing. So basically, if you see big data is used to make decisions, which we have been talking about all through this while. So basically, there needs to be certain characteristics of data. If those characteristics are not present, then it's of no use. So data must have some variety, right? There should be variety in the data. Number 2, there should be volume. What is volume? That we should have enough data to find something. I'll tell you a very good example. On my YouTube channel, when I just started with say 550 to 100 subscribers, the kind of data that I had really did not make any sense to me. But as I moved from 100 to 500 to 1000 to now around 1200, 1500, I'm finding that more and more patterns, more and more consumption behavior are becoming clear to me. What my audience wants. So we need to have sufficient volume of data. That is very important. Number 3 is veracity, which means if you have data, for example, my YouTube studio tells me that the people who are watching me generally, they are of age group of 18 to 24, almost 70-80% of those are. So there are mainly Gen Zs, like 18 to 24, and then there's some where there are 25 to 35, 40 years of age also. So yeah, that is again a very important data point, but can I verify it, right? So then when I see the kind of comments, the kind of questions in the comments, then I know, yes, the data is absolutely correct, right? And then velocity, with the speed. What is the speed with which I am getting the data? That is also very important. If I am getting previous year's data right now, it's of no use to me, right? And then all of this gets me the value of the data. So how valuable data is will be defined by the variety of data, the volume of data, the veracity of data, and the velocity of the data. All this will make up the value of data. If data is useful to me, it is valuable to me. Understood? If you look at data analytics, right? YouTube Studio is also kind of a data analytics that it gives. It includes data testing, right? Data analytics, if you see, it's a very huge field, and I know people who have got more money, more package, higher package in data analytics compared to general business when they pass out of these schools. and these are B schools which are famous for general business, right? So data analytics is such a growing field. Data mining, you mine a lot of data. How it is done? That is through multiple methods are there. Then there is predictive analytics, then there is statistical analytics, right? So predictive analytics means, I told you that okay, this woman might be expecting because she is not. So one of the very important thing that she's not purchased her sanitary napkins, which could be an indicator of either, and with if she's not purchased sanitary napkins and she's purchased a testing kit, it's a very you might feel awkward listening to this. When I felt awkward that this is the kind of data collection they are doing, but yeah, it's true that if these two things are there, it is an indicator that a woman might be expecting. So that's the kind of data, right? Your buying behavior tells a lot. So if you look at all these Blinkit and everything, what they're doing, they are data mining. They understand what you need and when you need it. For example, for me, I'm a diabetic. I mean, it's a very common thing, right? I'm a diabetic. So Tata 1mg, the moment my medicines are not there, it reminds me you need to order your medicines, and then I order it, right? So that's again the kind of data analytics that is happening, right? Statistical analytics, predictive I told you, statistical analytics, that what is the consumption behavior of 18 to 25 year olds, right? Now I know that my audience wants to listen about two things: jobs, salary, courses. From my analytics studio, I know that my audience wants these three things, so I make video on these three things, right? Because I understand that my videos probably are liked by people on these topics only, right? So again, that is again a very, very important data point, right? Moving on. Now the most basic thing is data, which is at the bottom of the pyramid, which does not make a lot of sense. Now from data you move to something known as information, where you try to establish certain relationships and then you try to find meaning in the data. So what is the meaning in this data? What age group is looking at me compared to their comments? And then I know, okay, this is what they want to see, this is what they want to listen, this is what they want to hear from me, right? From information to knowledge. What's happening? To know from this data, I gain knowledge, information. From information, then convert it to knowledge. And from that knowledge, then I move on to something known as wisdom, which means I can now make correct predictions about the future. Now some of the videos that I make, I know they will not do very well, but still I need to make them. It's a very different reason why I need to make them. But some videos I know are going to do well. So this is something that you need to predict. With wisdom comes after after a while of doing something, after a while of actually doing some work. So wisdom comes after that, where you can really predict, yes, this is going to happen now, right? Wisdom is like the old man who's seen it all, right? So this is the big data pyramid. Now how you should present and interpret data. So data visualization is the display of information graphically, the way we spoke about drill down facilities and dashboards and all, using various forms like charts, graphs and maps. Data visualization aims to present data to users in a form that is easy to understand and analyze, summarizing big data in a way that even non-technical users may understand. Which means that you visualize data, even if I'm not a very statistically great person, the visualization, the dashboard will give me the option to look at it in a way that, okay, this is correct. I'm not a technically sound person, but I understand my business and I know that, okay, this is fine. So you summarize big data in a way that even non-technical users may understand, right? It should facilitate the identification of trends. So what is the trend, right? Patterns, outliers, anomalies and comparisons between items on various bases, and allow for further insights such as changes of perspective from general to specific or from past to future. So if you look at data can really help you understand a lot of things. For example, I'll tell you that from 2008 to 2017, the registrations at ICAI dropped to 50%. Now I think it's picked up somewhat, but it's not again, or at those levels, it's not still at those levels. What does it say? That the foreign qualifications like the ACCA, like CPA, like CFA, like CMA US, these qualifications are making inroads into the market share of CA. Earlier you would see that HSBC Bank CEO, chartered accountant, ICICI Bank CEO, chartered accountant, Madhvi Puri, chartered accountant. Almost everyone is a chartered accountant. But slowly and steadily, other qualifications also started gaining prominence, right? And you see that most of the people who are CEO of Big Fours, global CEOs of Big Fours, they are US CPAs, because US, love it, don't love it, hate it, it is the biggest market, right? It is the biggest market, guys. So I hope you're able to make sense of some of the things that I'm saying, right? Now, how should tables be shown? So it should always be set up so that they fit on one page. This makes them much more user friendly, so that all the columns are there in front of me, and then I can make some sense of all the data. If I have say something on this page and the remaining on the other page, then I would not be able to make sense of that data, right? So that all the information can be seen at the same time. Now look at sales volume. So you see number of footballs, sales revenue. So I know, yes, multiplied by the sales price, material cost, labor cost. So yeah, this kind of it's a good example of a table where budgeted profit can be found out easily, right? So because everything you can see in the same, it's a flexible budget. It's kind of a flexible budget. So why is it useful? Because it's on the same page and I can really make some sense of this data. Now look at charts and graphs. So this is a kind of a pie chart. So you can quickly highlight the relationships. So if you show some scatter diagram, so oftentimes even in my class, I'll draw this. I'll try to show the relationship between my cost and profit, right? If you look at this, will be a typical fixed cost. This will be a typical variable cost, not profit, I would say production, right? Production, cost and production. It's a great way to show some relationship, right? That fixed cost stays constant while variable cost keeps increasing as I increase the volume of production, right? I hope that much is clear to you guys, right? The chart, we need to give a name of the chart describing the contents and purpose. Labeled axis, define the axis of the chart. So y-axis, so if I say here it's y-axis and x-axis. Legend, it provides context data point displayed on the chart. So you can easily make a chart on Excel. Using data, you can easily make a chart on Excel. Lines on the chart to assist the user in comparing data points to axis, right? So yeah, that is about this chapter, and I hope this much is clear to all of you. And so summary, information system is an integrated set of components that collect, store, process and communicate information. Control procedure ensures security of confidential data. Sources of information are classified as internal, external, primary or secondary. Various information systems include MIS, EIS, so we've talked about all of them, CRM, and supports the information needs of different management levels. The V's of big data are volume, so I need volume of data, variety, velocity, veracity and value. Data should have some value. If it's got the other four, it will have some value. Data analysis refers to using various techniques to analyze big data to reveal patterns, trends and associations to improve business performance, right? Purpose of data visualization is to present data to users in a form that is easy to understand and analyze, summarizing big data in a way that even non-technical users may understand in the form of charts and everything, right? So there's one question from your question bank called the Hotel Co, and I hope you guys will do this. Attempt the question bank questions after studying this chapter. Attempt revision question bank in your revision phase after studying all the chapters. Thank you so much, guys. That's it from my side, and I'll see you next time. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Namaskar. Thank you.